All right, hello everyone. Welcome to the alaracanfieldshow, the Awaken Happiness Now global series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Whether you're watching live or on the replay, it's always wonderful to have you with us. And today we have a brand new guest on the show, first time that she's with us. So we have Rev.Angie LaRue here, and we're going to be talking about rising into the new earth through the power of pairing. Now, this is the first time that Rev.Angie is with us, and I'm so excited because I worked with her just like maybe a month ago, and I found her to be amazing. And so I asked her to come on the show after I worked with her. So, you know, she was not expecting that. And I was like, yep, she is good. So Rev.Angie is with us today talking. We're going to be talking about mudras. We're going to be talking about codeums. We're going to be talking about how this is the time of the rising, which has been coined by the Pleiadians. We are in the Ascension Now. And today I was saying before we went live that this is the 5-5 portal. So there's a lot of intense energies happening right now, today, yesterday, this week, right? So a lot of stuff happening. And we are evolving faster and faster and preparing our DNA to take in more light. So we're going to talk a little bit about that with Rev.Angie. The time is now to get our heart chakra open, to evolve and spray that loving energy on everyone to help humanity shift. We're going to talk about that. The power of pairing. Pleiadean Codeums plus ancient mudras from India equals what? Heart light power for the rising. So, you know, I'm not going to go into this because I know Rev.Angie has so much she wants to share with us. But for those of you who don't know her, like I said, I just met her recently because I had a session with her. I worked with her and I absolutely loved her work and her energy. She is a master Christologist, a healer, an ordained reverend, a medical intuitive, a medical innovator, a psychic, a teacher, a Reiki master, and a manufacturer. And so she's going to share her story with us as well because it's her first time on the show. So I'm so excited about all of this that we're doing today. So please join me in opening up your hearts, being totally centered and present in this moment right now. And please join me in welcoming Rev.Angie LaRue to the show since it's the very first time. So thank you so much for being here, Angie. I'm so excited. I've been like, you know, so excited all day long because I know how powerful you are and the work that you do. So please share with us a little bit about your journey, your story, and then we'll get right into like, because there's so much I want to talk about.
Yay, thank you. It is lovely to be here, and it's beautiful to feel all your energies and share the space with you guys. And my story actually begins December 9th, 2011 at 2 o'clock in the afternoon when I had a spontaneous awakening of consciousness on a business phone call, and my life promptly melted down into complete chaos. And it took about 3 months to even realize what had happened was the awakening of consciousness. I was a Christian in the Methodist Church, and this is not something we actually covered. It was dangled out there, implied somewhere, but the exact steps of how to get there and what would happen when it happened wasn't covered. And so I had a lot to understand. And I was a bit like Humpty Dumpty. I fell off the wall, all my preconceived ideas shattered off of me, and the box that I had been living in was gone. And a whole new world of what reality and the multidimensional reality is opened up to me. And it's been a growing step-by-step on the path since then. And a lot of things have opened up. I kind of made an agreement with God that I wouldn't say no, and that I would accept whatever was sent my way. And that acceptance, that opening, and that surrendering to the divine allowed a tremendous amount of higher dimensional understanding and capabilities to indwell over the course of the next 10 years, leading to, well, today and this time with you.
Beautiful. And that's just a brief little taste of your journey in your life. But what's so unique about it is like, it's so unique, but at the same time, we're all experiencing those types of changes in our lives, right? That type of transformation. Because if somebody were to ask me about my life 20 years ago, it's totally different. I mean, it's not, I can't even, I don't even know who that person is or was, right? So everything is changing for those, you know, if we're willing to, right, as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think surrender really is the key. Yeah, admitting we don't know. I just don't know. And being accepting of that, relaxing into that, luxuriating into the not knowing. It's okay to not know. And that's when wonder begins to open up. When we are a child, we know very little and everything's magical and everything's wonderful. And so the awakening of consciousness can be compared to being a child, open to whatever is displayed, whatever there is to be experienced.
And along with that goes a lot of trusting as well. So surrendering and at the same time trusting, right?
Yeah.
Those are my two learnings from this lifetime: surrender and trust. Okay, still working on it.
And it's fascinating because, you know, on this side of that, right, when it's finally been done and we're living in that place of a surrender and trust, it all seems so easy. But when we're on the other side, it's like, oh, I don't know. I don't think I can quite let go, because what if everything falls apart? What if I can't put it together again, right? And that fear of the unknown is what separates us from luxuriating in the unknown.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, you know, also it's like when you haven't seen anybody going through what you're going through, it really feels like you're like totally alone. Like, I don't know, I have no reference point for this, you know, so it's like, how do I surrender and trust completely when I have no reference point, right?
Right. Yeah. And there's, you know, there's ways to do that, you know, little tiny steps of small surrenders day by day. Or there's the, you know, the cosmic 2x4, which is what I got, right? And a number of people do get it through near-death experiences and whatnot. They end up with the cosmic 2x4. I don't recommend that.
No, I don't recommend that either. All right, so today, as I was saying, it's the 5-5 portal, right? So it's also Cinco de Mayo, but you know, it's more for me now. It's more like these 5-5 portals. A lot of energies streaming into the planet right now for our benefit. But at the same time, when that happens, you know, our physical body can sometimes react to it. If there's a lot of energy pouring in, we need time to integrate those energies so that, you know, it's not as difficult. And sometimes it affects our sleep schedule. Sometimes it affects our emotions. Sometimes all sorts of stuff comes up from back in the day, right? So there's a lot of intense energy. So I'm so glad that you're here today specifically because of that. So that will help to give us a little bit more ease and stability, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm trying to calm my energy as well. Computers and technology and well, the entire environment around me is affected by my energy, and the same for all of you, right? The same for all of you. We are interacting fields of energy, right? And so receiving back from the world that which we want really kind of means we have to become that. And as we become that, that ripples out into those other fields, affects them, and then that kind of comes back, and it you know, becomes this, you know, quantum field of support. So learning how to control our own energy and our own frequency is so key to manifesting and creating the reality we want. Not just now, but as we're moving into this new time of Aquarius, that's actually going to become so much faster than it ever has been before. You know, before, the thoughts in our head or the resentments that we held against somebody took a very long time to manifest as a problem in our body. But in the new age of Aquarius, it's going to happen really quick. And fortunately, we're all on the cutting edge of this consciousness. We're learning a little bit faster here, you know, than a lot of folks who never maybe even heard about the evolution of consciousness. And so I know that we're experiencing how very quickly our thoughts and our moods and our emotions and our reactions create a reality like wildfire, into our experience.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. So that's why, like when there's a lot of intensity, when there's a lot of stuff happening, the biggest thing, the best thing you can do for yourself is to relax your emotions, relax your mind. But the physical body, I find that's what needs to maybe do a little bit of work, like go outside, walk, take a walk in the fresh air, etc. That will help to balance everything as well. So that's just a little energy hygiene maintenance for everybody at this time, because we all need it. Drink lots of water. But I want to get into the talk today about the pairing. So before I worked with you, right, I didn't know what codeums were, right? So these Pleiadian codeums, of course, I know what the mudras are. I'm Indian, so I do know, but pairing them together is like, oh, how unique. So can we talk a little bit about the Pleiadian codeums first before we talk about the mudras, but also specifically about, we are into the new earth right now. We have been able to expand that frequency, that energy of being in the new earth. But it's also about how we can continue to recognize that we are in the new earth and what we need to do for ourselves and for everybody else.
Absolutely. So in my path, there was a lot of things initially that I said no to, right? So for one example, I was a Star Trek fan, I was a sci-fi fan. I deeply wanted to believe there were other sentient beings on other planets. Now, I had certainly extended my consciousness or the potential to believe that there were, germs or bacteria or biota on other planets. But it was my wish that there was actually other sentient beings, and maybe even more advanced than we were, right? And that was a desire and that was a wish, but apparently I didn't really believe it, because when I was first met one, it was a channeled being. It came through a lady, and his name was Lauren, the ambassador from the Orion Belt. And he, this is about maybe 4 or 5 months into my awakening, and he began to tell me some things about my path. And, I could psychically see, I actually had seen a light come into her. So I knew something had happened with her. And there was something about her voice and her mannerisms that had changed and seemed very authentic. But I still wasn't believing that she'd kind of moved out of the way and there was a new being in her body talking with me. But I was trying to stay open. But at one point, this gentleman, Lauren, said to me in a very grandfatherly, compassionate, non-judgmental tone of voice, that I might want to reconsider my belief systems and decide whether I actually wanted to be a xenophobe or not. There's nothing like having an extraterrestrial call you a xenophobe to get your act together, right? And that's when I realized that, well, now I believed, actually, because he had seen into me and seen what was there, even though I was hiding it on the exterior. He had seen that I was skeptical. I didn't quite believe. I wanted to believe, but I didn't quite believe. So that was the beginning of my walk with realizing that that desire of advanced sentient races was in fact a reality. And I'm still adapting in some ways to that. But this has resulted now in working with the Pleiadians. And the Pleiadians, this particular group at least, are 12th dimensional beings. And so their understanding of quantum physics is advanced far beyond our comprehension. And they give us these numbers, it's a series of numbers, which are basically binary and fractal in nature. And they're kind of like Tetris blocks. So this little light fractal set comes into our system, into our auric field or into our body, and it rearranges what is there to create something new. So for example, a codum that opens our heart chakra, that's what it does. It doesn't fix our broken arm. It doesn't, clean our spleen. It doesn't evolve our consciousness. It does one thing, it opens the heart. So they're very specific. Codums are not a broad spectrum thing. There are a few that can be fairly broad, but for the most point, they're very exact. It only does what it says it's going to do, and it does nothing else. But it does adjust itself to our unique spiritual frequency. So, we're all kind of different wildflowers in God's garden, right? And this is not a one size fits all. So a codum fits to your special, beautiful uniqueness. It's not going to blend you into everybody else, right? It's not a Capitan.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. Thank you. Because Liga was asking, what is a codum? So, thank you for explaining that, because, you can think of it as a code, but that code works specifically for one thing, whatever it is meant to, right? So binary and numerical, go ahead.
So yeah, spiritual technology, but we can look at it as a transmission, or a light code is a very broad way to say that.
Yeah. So that'll just give you an understanding. And like I said, when I worked with Angie like a month ago, I found the codums that she was transmitting to me, giving to me, were so powerful, so powerful. So I know, I think we're going to share some today later, right? At the end of the call, near the end, whatever. So then you will all be able to perceive it for yourself as well, because they were amazing. So let's talk about the mudras as well.
So mudras, so we don't necessarily have to look to extraterrestrials and advanced races on other planets to find high levels of spiritual understanding. Humans have developed some pretty amazing things ourselves. And this is what mudras are. Mudras are, we can look at them and Alara, I know you'll be amused by my recitation of what they are. But we can look at them as almost acupressure that we can do on ourselves. So in other words, our body is a bioelectric field, and much like a circuit board, we can connect different parts of the field to enhance the energy flow to a specific area. So I'll teach you a mudra right now, okay? This mudra is for detoxing. All right, so take your hands, and then we're going to bring our ring fingers down, and we're going to place the pad of our thumb on the second knuckle of the ring finger. Got that? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Then we can just relax that like onto our legs or onto our lap without crossing our arms. And this mudra is for detoxing and boosting the immune system. So imagine sitting at red lights or watching television and doing this mudra. You are committing an act of self-love when you do this. You're taking care of your body, which is the temple that God gave you. You're given this temple to take care of for your time visiting planet Earth. And when you do a mudra, you are honoring and caring for and being a good caretaker of the temple that you have been given.
Beautiful. Thank you. And so easy, right? It's so easy, and that's it. So that's one. But even with the mudras, it's not about like, oh, I'm just going to do it for a second and that's it. It's, like 10, 15 minutes. You have to focus. You have to have an intention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very easy to block energy. It's very easy to block realities by our inattention, right? So when we bring our attention and our focus to something, we turn up the volume on it. We power it up. But if we're inattentive, like little squirrels running around in our mind, we can actually block the energy and make it not work at all, which is part of how we develop disbeliefs. We didn't stay with something long enough to see if it was real or not, to actually explore. Yeah. So when we do a mudra, we want to stop, drop, and center, become hyper aware in the moment, connect it, do the circuit, and sometimes you can actually feel the circuit connect. can instantly feel a change in your body, right? And if we go through our lives pulling hyper attention, hyper focus to everything that we do, we become intentional creators. And we power up everything that we do. We bring so much more power to it. And so part of the power of pairing, which is really what today's show is about, is we're bringing very ancient human technology. It's not really technology, but we can kind of look at it as a way, as that, because this is something, 6,000 years at least, right, Alara? We've been doing this with 12th dimensional advanced Pleiadian spiritual technology. So we're kind of pairing the best of two species together. And so what I'm doing, because of where we are right now in the ascension process, is very critical that our hearts be very open. And the Pleiadians have even said that if our hearts are not open during this period, we can perish from our hearts. Now, that's not going to happen, I don't think, to anybody here, or you wouldn't be here in the first place. You are already working on your heart space, okay? And so the mudras that you'll be learning, if you get the package, are paired with heart codeums. So it's heart mudras paired with heart codeums. And so we're kind of doing mental entrainment. All right, we're mentally entraining and using the power of the codeums and the power of the mudras, that when I do this other thing happens. So.
Awesome. Thank you. Makes sense. Totally makes sense. And even like when with the codeums, because when I was working with you and we, receiving codeums from you, we didn't do the mudras, but I was still receiving a lot of transmissions, a lot of intense energies. It was amazing.
This is the first time that I've offered it as a pairing. Now, I host a community Tuesday night meditation on Zoom, which is just my gift to help support these times and support community. And we've been practicing now for about 3 months, pairing codeums and mudras together. And it has been so successful that I decided to bring this forward on Alara's program.
Yes, thank you. And, it really is about using the best of both, right? So using the Pleiadian technology with the mudras, which I think were originally alien technology as well.
Could be, right? Yeah, could be.
Well, I think as well. So, but these are tried and true. They've been proven. I mean, yogis in India use them for everything and have been using them for thousands of years. So it's not like it's not like they don't work.
I have a cute little story. Can I tell it?
Yes, go ahead.
I think you'll appreciate it. It's about the Taj Mahal. So in December, I was in India on my own spiritual journey, which is always an ever-evolving journey. And at the Taj Mahal, it has the energies of tourism at it now. Is what energies are. Phenomenal building, the idea behind how it came into existence. It's actually a mausoleum. And I wanted to connect more with the intention of why it was built and with the building process itself, because there's some very brilliant sacred geometry, which is built into every step of it all the way. And so there's a particular mudra, which I think is actually for focus and concentration, but for whatever reason, I'm able to use it to instantly travel back in time. Okay, now I'm an out-of-body traveler, and I can usually open a portal and be on my way to another planet within about 10 or 15 minutes, 30 at the outside. But with this particular mudra, I could do it in just minutes. And because I'm doing it in a public place with a lot of people, I didn't want to have to take 30 minutes to do it, because I didn't know when I was going to get interrupted, or a child would, trip on my lap and fall into me or whatnot. So I'm doing this mudra, and I'm traveling back in time, and I'm watching the Taj Mahal be built. And I become aware of somebody at my side trying to get to my attention, speaking to me in a foreign language, and I'm kind of like, I'm meditating. I don't want to talk to you. The voice gets more authoritarian and louder, and pretty soon I open my eyes and there's a gun right here. And I look up and there's a human in full military regalia attached to the gun, basically trying to tell me, stop doing what you're doing, right? And there was some guide that had been kind of appointed to me by the government. He comes up to me and he kind of translates and he said, you're not allowed to do religious-based things or mudras at the Taj Mahal. This is a mausoleum. This is not, a religious temple.
Yeah, it's not a place of worship. Yeah.
And I was kind of like, well, technically I wasn't worshiping. I was time traveling.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that would have gone over well either.
Yeah, but I didn't know how to explain that. But I did kind of tell the government appointed guide that, and I told him, I said, well, the mudra is just a shortcut. I don't need. I could do this without. And so anyway, I ended up going to different points. And as you know, Alara, it's a very large courtyard and you can move in a lot of different places. And I went to various places and I would drop in and see what was happening at that point during the building process. And this government guide was very skeptical. I'm one of those new age weird Americans, but as I would tell him, because I just decided to tell him, because it's all very matter of fact to me. It's not woo-woo anything. This is an ability we humans have. So I started telling him what was happening during the building process in this particular place. And I went to about 8 different places. And after about the 4th time, all the energy of skepticism had completely disappeared from him, and he was deeply fascinated. And by about the 6th location, he was just aghast, right? He had been trained in lots of information about the Taj Mahal, and there's a lot that's not released to the public. And I was describing to him things that are withheld from the public, and they're not published and they're not told about. And he became quite amazed. So, but that story starts with a mudra that shortened my ability to time travel to seconds. So mudras are amazing.
Wow, that's amazing. So of course everyone wants to know, what is the mudra? We can see that from
and that mudra I don't think is for time traveling, to be honest. I think it's for extreme concentration.
Got it. Yeah.
That would work very well for me for time jumping.
Yeah, awesome. That's amazing, because it's like, you can go to many different places and just see what was happening at different points in history, and learn something new, right? And just the possibility of being able to do that is amazing. So I can just imagine that guide was like stunned, and then he didn't know what to think, right?
Yeah, I'll show you the mudra. And if you're an out-of-body traveler, then enjoy. This is the mudra.
That's what I figured. Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as you said it was for concentration and focus, like, okay, I know what that is.
I know which mudra. Yeah.
Like, okay, got it. Thank you. So there's a question from Angela in the chat about, if you get Pleiadean Codeums, is there a link or separation from other star systems like Sirius? What does that mean exactly? But yeah, no.
So the original Codeums, as I understand it, came from the Huronians. The Huronians are 24th dimensional beings. So the Pleiadians consider our universe as having 12 dimensions. So a 24th dimensional being is referring to another universe. And so it would be a 4th dimensional being 2 universes away. 1 universe away would be 24th. And they had evolved basically this technology to create these fractal units of energy. And when they first were able to access another universe and develop relationships with, those bipeds, Pleiadians are bipeds like we are, 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 forward-facing eyes. And their exchange of ideas and concepts and getting to know each other, the Huronians gave the Codum technology to the Pleiadians. And not just the Pleiadians. At this point, I have Codums from the Vegans. I have Codums from, oh goodness, a couple different ones, and even Atlanteans. Atlanteans developed Codums. I have about 6 from the Atlanteans. They only had about 20. They didn't have very many, but their Codums did multiple different things. One of them is, it makes a med bed. It's amazing. So we actually we originally got Codum technology from another universe. Now, as we understood it, and not just, when I say we, I'm talking bipeds, advanced species who have a connection with the divine and understanding of the divine. They're alchemists, they're energy alchemists, energy healers and stuff, began to understand how it all worked and build on that. Okay, so, but the base of Codum seems to come from the Huronians, which is in another universe, but then each species built on it themselves. So whatever your connections are to star families, or whatever your heritage is to star families, I haven't found an example where this wasn't a good fit. It seems to work because we all got it kind of from the same source.
Got it. Thank you. Good question, Angela. Thank you.
So
there's no separation. Doesn't matter which star system you're from, including Earth. You can still receive it, and you will still perceive the transformation from the Codum. Okay. Yeah. Good. Thank you. So I know that Destiny and Sarah both have their hands raised. Would you like to take some questions?
Sure.
Awesome. All right, Destiny, we have a quick question and we'll see if there's what else we want to do, but I know we want to do some Codum transmissions. I'm going to call them that. But go ahead.
Hi. I'm not sure if Angie does any types of clearings or anything. There's like this energy around, and I'm noticing that there's a program, like I'm dealing with a program that's kind of running, and I think this program, or there's some kind of weird technologies that are interfering with making it stronger. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so let me give you a little background on implants. I have a few of them. I originally met the Pleiadians because somebody came to me who had a bunch of implants, and I removed them. And then I went to remove the last one, and that's when the Pleiadians came in. They're like, stop, let's give you some information about that one first. And they did, and it was a soul agreement. And that person is actually the channel for Osan, who's the Pleiadian who gives me all the Codums. So that was the beginning of a relationship. So implants, be it on the etheric or on the physical level, are a mixture, but at least 50% of them are benevolent and positive and for your highest good. So understanding that most of us humans are, our genetic code is influenced by various star families. So we're kind of a big lab down here. And sometimes that doesn't work out really well. We get cross messages in the chromosomes or cross messages in the DNA. And so star family will come in and give us implants to correct things. Or sometimes we have genetic problems that run in a family, like some kind of spinal nerve damage. And they'll come in and give us implants, to help correct that. Different species oftentimes have families of people that they've worked with for a very long time. So it's very possible to have something in your field and the energy around you or in your body, and is completely benevolent for your highest good. So that's the first thing I want to tell you, like, don't be worried. But right now I'm going to put on my eye blockers so light doesn't interfere with my psychic vision, and I'll go in and see what you've got going and clear that out for you. All right, dear heart.
Thank you. Thank you, dear. Yep.
So I'm just using kyanite to ensure my chakras are open, clean, and flowing really well, so I can very quickly use psychic vision. Kyanite does it super fast. All right, Destiny, please say your full name 3 times for me.
Destiny C. Reed, Destiny C. Reed, Destiny C. Reed.
All right, I'm dyslexic, so if this is backwards, forgive me, but I see in the upper right, about 2-3 feet out in your field, I see an energy that's kind of pushing in, and you seem to be psychic enough to be able to perceive that.
Yeah.
It's not really your higher self or an angel or guide. I'm not picking up that it's one of your teams. And so for me, that's good enough to just remove it since it's bugging you.
Please.
Earth is a free will zone. And that means you get to choose to not have something around you if you don't want it around you. All right, so how is that starting to feel, dear?
Much better. It's released.
Good. All right.
Ooh.
Just cut cards with that. Okay, how you doing now?
Much better. Thank you so much for that.
You're so welcome.
Good. Awesome. Destiny, thank you.
Thank you, Lara. Thank
So
you,
now
Angie.
we got to see a little bit about how Angie works. I love it. Sarah, you had your hand raised.
Hi. I am so admiring of the work that you're doing and the blessing that you have for all of that, what you bring to us. I am a walk-in and have some Andromedan, Pleiadian, and recently I was told Lemurian ancestry, whatever it would be. So I'm waiting for it to open up as you did well, not, I don't want to be that presumptuous, but in some ways that aren't, and I meditate and all that. Do you see any blocks, any keys, or just anything that I should be focusing on to help me in this work to do more healing work in the world instead of being so isolated and somewhat closeted?
All right, please say your full name for me 3 times.
Sarah Schendelman, Sarah Schendelman, Sarah Schendelman. But I also want to say my tribe name, which is Hebrew, Chavasara Bat Yosef Halevi Ve'Esther.
Say that 3 times too as well, so I can connect to that energy.
Chavasara Bat Yosef Halevi Ve'Esther. Chavasara Bat Yosef Halevi Ve'Esther. Chavasara Bat Yosef Halevi Ve'Esther.
Okay, so what I'm getting with you is you have a very specific soul trajectory. I'm looking at it, and it's a very straight line that goes straight up. And that while you do not know it, you are very spot on your path. Your soul is showing me that you are exactly where you should be, exactly doing what you should be doing, and that there's no disruptions in your path. The only thing your higher self is just connecting with me. Yeah, the only thing that's going on here is your mind. Your mind has some stories that things aren't happening the way it thinks it should, or fast enough, or it's not aware of what's going on. But in fact, your soul is spot on. It's right where it wants to be at the pace it wants to be. And yeah, It's just the mind thinking the grass is greener on the other side.
Well, all right. I will just continue to meditate and swim in the pool.
Be the love that you are. Be the love that you are, dear.
Okay. Thank you so
Just
much.
that's, and all else will fall in line.
Blessings. Thank you so much.
So welcome.
Thank you, Sarah. All right, Pat, you want to unmute yourself?
Hello. It's so nice to meet you, Reverend Angie. Thank you so much.
And you as well.
Is there an energy? I'm not sure. I keep trying to work with my physical body with this lightheadedness as I walk, and it shifts during the day hours. Sometimes it's more balanced at night. Is there a message for me on what I can do to become more balanced?
When was the last time you had your blood pressure checked?
Oh, a day or so ago, I checked it. It was like 144/68, pulse 58.
Okay, so I'm getting that there's blood pressure fluxes, something like that. Like there's times when the visual cortex, central cortex,
Okay.
not getting enough oxygen or enough blood circulation, and this is causing that. But let's see. We can do a little test. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ground you. I'm going to use a Pleiadean Codeum, and I'm going to ground you with grace and ease. And then I want you to get up and walk around and see what you notice. Okay. And this will help us find out if this is an energetic spirit, spiritual kind of experience, or if it's actually a physical blood flow oxygen thing.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So one of my implants is a tiny stone that's right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I can load this with Codeums and then beam it to you. We call it a beamer.
Okay.
All right, say with me, activate, enhance,
Enhance,
amplify,
amplify,
expand.
expand.
All right, just let those energies kind of homeopathically go out into your whole field. Just notice what you notice. When the energies have kind of settled or stopped expanding and moving and changing, you can go ahead and go for a little walk, see how you're feeling.
Just walk around the room.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So how's that feeling, Pat?
Yeah, I'm feeling a more balanced. Yeah.
Okay. I think I want to do one more Codeum for you.
Okay.
Let's see what this does. Okay, Pat, can you show me where outside of your house, where the most trees are at, and tell me how close they are to the house?
Well, I'm in an apartment.
Okay, where's your green area and how far away is it from?
Oh, it's I don't know how many feet, but I can see out my window. I connect with the trees, and I take 2 walks and hug trees.
Okay.
And try to connect with nature.
Okay, can you give me like, is it 100 feet, 1,000 feet? Can you give me some sense of measurement?
I guess 1,000, I guess, something like that. But I'm not sure.
Okay. And can you give me a little bit of idea of what type of trees they are so I have a sense of the height of them?
Oh gosh, they're hundreds of feet tall. Some of them are.
Hundreds of feet. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So give me one moment, and I'm gonna do another codem, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the oxygen from around the trees and I'm gonna transplant it into your apartment.
Okay.
Take this stale or reconditioned air out of your apartment and give it to the trees to fix it. And then you're gonna do a walk around your apartment and see how you feel, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Say with me, activate,
Activate,
enhance,
enhance,
expand,
expand,
rejuvenate.
rejuvenate.
It is so.
It is so.
All right, take a couple deep breaths, walk around the room, come back and let me.
Feeling loving energy, and but I'm still feeling, physically off balanced. So should I change my blood pressure medicine? Is that a message or not?
Yeah, I think it's a physical thing.
It's a physical thing. Okay.
Mhm. How does your mental thinking, how is it right now? Does it seem pretty sharp and clear?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so that's the oxygen. So I think we have a physical situation, Pat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I go see the cardiologist, I see him in July.
Yeah. Yeah, just kind of talk to him about, about the dizziness.
Okay.
Yeah, it just looks like we're just not getting enough oxygen. It's spread out into the brain, into the visual cortex, and so you're getting some dizziness from that.
Or should I go see him sooner?
You're going in July?
In July.
You can see if you can move that up a little bit.
Okay, I could call and see if I can.
Okay. Yeah.
And then he'll do like an MRI or something on my brain.
Yeah, you might actually want to look into some alternative type things. Maybe even acupuncture. This could be solvable through that without having to do meds. Yeah.
Just look at different things and see what's possible for you, Pat.
Yeah.
I'm on a very strict budget, so acupuncture can be very expensive.
Okay. Okay. Well, my first solution is never to throw meds at something. They cause as many problems as they solve often.
Yeah, the meds can do this.
Yeah.
Yes.
But go
right.
get it checked.
Yeah, I can go. I'll call and see if I can see him before July.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. That was so interesting. I had no idea you could do something like that, is move the oxygen from the trees into a space. It's like,
It's pretty-
okay.
Yeah. I, sometimes when I've done it, it's actually, especially if I do it like in the fall or the winter or something, it actually drops the temperature in the room quite a bit. Oops, that wasn't what I wanted.
Yeah, I can imagine. Oh God. So Angela's asking what code or codem is most appropriate for me at this point. At this point in time. I don't know if you can answer that with such a general question.
I mean, I might be able to, but Angela, I need to connect with you. I need to connect with your energy. So if you could, are you on this call? Can you unmute and say your full name 3 times, please?
Angela Matha Kanagaviri. Angela Matha Kanagaviri. Angela Matha Kanagaviri.
All right. I get that for you, there's something about a story that you need to let go of so that forgiveness and dissolving of something that happened can happen, is what I'm getting.
Makes sense.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. And Sarah's saying, can we all get a codem for our allergies?
A code for allergies. Yes. Let me just pull that up. I have kind of a lot of codems. And so I do have a number of them memorized, probably 20. Some of them are quite long, but I don't have the allergy one memorized.
I know that my brother-in-law was here the other day and he has grass allergies. He's allergic to grass, and so oh my goodness, when he was here, because we're in the country, so he's like, his eyes are all puffy and oh my goodness, like, oh, I felt bad for him.
Yeah.
But I mean, even for allergies, there's like so many types of allergies, right?
Oh, goodness, yes. Well, sure thought I had one.
Sarah says she's locked herself in the house with air cleaners.
You know what? I actually don't have a codem for allergies. I have a device that I make for allergies. It's 741 hertz. It works really well for allergies. Are your sinuses, is it affecting your sinuses mostly? I do have a codem for sinuses. Or is it affecting you in the lungs the most? How are the allergies most affecting you?
Intense sneezing.
Sneezing. All right, let me try sinuses.
Yeah, that sounds like sinuses.
Sometimes I just feel like my head's going to blow off. I sneeze uncontrollably over and over and over and over. Yeah.
Well, let's see what this does. Okay, so it's not the perfect solution. We're just addressing one part of what causes allergies. Let's see what it does. All right, and anybody who also wants to receive this, just say the activating words with us, okay? And here this energy comes down. Say with me, activate, enhance, amplify, expand. then take some nice deep breaths through your nose and see if that causes more sneezing. Hopefully not. And when you're ready, come back and let us know what you noticed with that.
Yeah. So even though like I'm not sneezing, I still felt the energy in my system, and that's why I was yawning and stuff. It's like it's still processing through. Sarah says my head feels a bit clearer. Good.
Good. All right. And yeah, I noticed on me, for example, one nostril, which I actually have a cold right now. So one nostril cleared out completely, and I feel cold air in it, right? And it clear up into the sinus. So.
Wow. I mean, it's still moving, and that's why I'm still yawning, but it's still moving. So for those of you who were like, oh, this has nothing to do with me, hopefully you still did the activating the words to activate, enhance, expand, etc., just to see what you perceive, right? It's still
Exactly.
moving. Yeah,
Yeah.
good.
There's no right or wrong way. There's only your way, how you experience it. And code can land differently every single time. It depends how much of that energy we need or what's going on with us. And, you can have 4 different effects having run a codem 4 different times. And it just depends how, what your body is needing from the codem as to how that's going to land.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. So, I'm still feeling it. Awesome. Thank you. So there's still more questions in the chat. There's a question from Clara. There's a question from Linda. Before I go back to the chat and stuff, I want to talk a little bit about the packages that you have for us for the show today. And did you already have some codems that you had wanted to share with us?
Yes. Would you guys like, I'm thinking maybe one for opening all your chakras and uplifting the biomorphic field, something like that. Just a nice little system optimizing.
That sounds good.
Okay, let's do it. Let me find those codems. Have many to scroll through.
I remember when we were talking, I think you said there were like 400 or something.
I have well over 100. Yeah, well over 100.
So maybe you need categories.
They are in categories, and even then it's still hard.
Command F or whatever for, on the Mac, search Command F.
All right, here we go. And I will, before I throw the energy out, I'll let you know what it's going to be. And then I'll lead you through the activator words if you do not want. I'm going to put these together in a cocktail. I'm going to put a number of codems together in a cocktail. If you don't want it, just don't say the activator words. It's that simple. That's just how easily we can defend ourselves against any kind of energy. We do have to open and be receptive, receive it, surrender to it. The deeper you surrender to this energy, the more you're going to feel it. So you're the boss. You're completely in control. Okay.
I must already be receiving because I'm like yawning like crazy.
I know, my ears are popping. All right, so, oh, there's one more here. All right, so the first codem is just to prepare your field to receive multiple codems at once. The next codem is for absorbing and integrating Pleiadian codems. You know, we all come from different backgrounds, so this helps your system for them to actually integrate into you instead of just hanging out here in your field and not integrating. There's one here for grounding and security and field sovereignty. There's one to open all the chakras. And there's one which clears your system, activates the power chakras, directs healing to where it needs to be, clears the lymph system, and directs energy towards alignment. And the last one I'm going to put in this cocktail is for uplifting the biomorphic field.
Sounds good.
All right, here come these energies now. Say with me, inhale first, inhale. Say activate.
Activate.
Inhale. Enhance.
Enhance.
Inhale. Amplify.
Amplify.
Inhale. Expand.
Expand.
And please pop your ears and yawn as you need to. After you are
I could take a nap now.
feeling, yeah, at some point drink water.
Oh, goodness. So how is everybody doing? What are you perceiving, if anything? How are you feeling? Or is the energy moving around in your system? Oh my goodness. I could just close my eyes and take a nap.
Yeah, it's interesting when we start getting balanced back out, then the things that we really need kind of show up. So, you know, apparently you do need some deeper rest.
Yes, for sure.
Doesn't surprise me. You do so much. You do so much for so many. So
I'm going to go to sleep early today, meaning before 1 o'clock, before 1 a.m. Angela says throat clearing. Awesome. You could definitely use that. I can definitely see why you would need that. Angelica said my eyes and ears are tingling. I wonder what's opening up. Right? Your clairvoyance, your clairaudience.
How many people feel like little golden sparkly lights all inside their body now? Or how many people feel spaciousness between the cells of their body? Feel more expansive, more open, more flowing. I know it's hard to language all this sometimes. I'm helping you.
Well, it's true. I mean, like, before you said that, you know, when I started to talk again, I felt like I was very giddy, you know, like giggling and giddy, like there was more energy within me, but a bubbly type of energy.
Yeah.
Angela said there was movement in the sacral as well. Oh, good. Awesome.
Mm.
I'm not going to say anything beyond that, but that's great. I wonder what's clearing out. And didn't Angie say something about forgiveness, clearing, something letting go earlier? Old story, well, letting go of stories and forgiveness. I think she said something like that. So I'm not surprised.
So I wanted to address Linda. I hope you're
Mhm.
with us, Linda. You asked for any recommendations to override the fear of the fall of the Pleiadian times and reconnect to our gifts from that time. So understanding that many different star races have been in many different wars with many different other star races ad nauseum. I mean, this is billions of years, okay? So all races have fallen and risen and fallen and risen and fallen and risen. This is a cycle, right? This is a cycle. Our own countries go through rises and falls and rises and falls. Right now, the Pleiadians are doing great. They're in a very expansive time. They're one of the most advanced races in our universe right now because some of them are at the 12th dimensional level. So allowing a little bit more logic and flexibility with understanding the rises and falls of civilizations and beings. It's like the tides in the ocean, right? The tides in the ocean are wonderful, marvelous things if we accept it.
Mhm.
We want to be in resistance to it. Well, we're just in resistance, but the tides are still going to continue. The rise and fall of various civilizations is still going to continue. So being more flexible, just allowing nature to take its course and don't be in resistance.
Mhm. And how can we reconnect to our gifts from that time?
Well, you can invite them in and spend a lot of time in no mind meditation. Many styles of meditating, but what I find to be the most useful for doing things is no mind. No mind is you don't think. At the most, you follow the inhalation of the breath and the exhalation of the breath. Even that in a way is thinking. You want to reach zero thought, null thought. Null thought is where everything begins to happen. So in order to make the space for the memory of those gifts, which already exists inside of you, in order to make the room for that space for those memories to resurface, you have to stop the thinking of the brain. The brain is the gateway between you and all the cool stuff. So no mind meditation, silencing the mind is what you want to do.
Good. Awesome. Thank you, Linda. Great question. And then Clara had put a question in the chat. I'm not sure if you can answer, but she says, I've been told I have Pleiadians around me. I wanted to know if you're able to confirm that and let me know if they have a message or code for me.
All right, Clara, is it going to be possible for you to unmute and say your full complete name 3 times?
Yes, my name is Clara Elizabeth Hussman. Clara Elizabeth Hussman. Clara Elizabeth Hussman.
Okay. So the first thing I noticed with you is a very strong auric field, and it's being supported and amplified by other beings. And we can call these star brothers and sisters. Okay. There's a number of species that are supporting you, but the ones that are showing themselves the most right now to me are the Ebons. Do you know who the Ebons are?
No, I do
You don't?
not.
Okay. All right. So the Ebons, that's what we call them. That's actually what the government calls them. Okay, so they're a biped. They have a pale grayish blue skin. Okay, so we have the short grays, we have the tall grays. Now I think the tall grays actually made the short grays. Okay, I think they're almost like an android or something, but they became their own species. And then we have the Ebons. No connection between the grays and the Ebons. They're not connected, but they look quite a bit alike. Here's the difference. The grays, they have ovoid eyes, oval, that wrap around their head. Okay, so they actually have kind of a peripheral vision because the eyeball comes to the side of their head. The Ebons do not. They have the ovalid eyes, they're very large, but they're in the front like us. Okay. When the crafts that wrecked at Roswell, New Mexico, there's actually 3 different crafts. There's 3 ships that went down. One of them was up on the Colorado border, New Mexico, Colorado border. One was in Roswell, and the other one was outside of Roswell a little bit. Like, I don't know, they hit something on Earth that crashed their technology. Some of those were rescued alive, some of them were dead, but those were Ebons. We went on to develop a very good relationship with the Ebons and a large exchange of technology. And you can thank quite a bit of our technology these days to technology trades with the Ebons. They've been very friendly to us. And that's the first one I saw in your field that showed itself and kind of grinned at me. So yeah, but there is other energies there too. And I picked up like some Nordic and some Pleiadian energy as well. So I hope that answers your question a little bit. You've got lots of support. Something is amplifying your field as well. There's something that is creating a very strong field around you. It's not porous at all.
Yes, thank you. I've been told that many times, like that I have lots of, whether it's people, beings, but a huge support structure around me, which kind of makes me giggle because I think, why? Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Manna from heaven.
Good. Thank you. Thank you, Clara, for asking that question because I've never heard of the Ebons.
Yeah.
I know about Roswell and, you know, the spaceships that crashed there, but I didn't know.
There's like 4 of them that are quite similar in appearance. They have kind of larger heads and very thin bodies, and then kind of grayish blue or grayish pink or grayish gray. The skin, it's like Zeta Reticula, short grays, the tall grays, the Ebons. It's there's so many species that's overwhelming. Just overwhelming.
A lot of them are benevolent, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, we're really looking at almost the same as, you know, down here on Earth. Like one way to look at it is, we humans are aligned towards love or aligned towards self-love. Self-love can be very destructive at other people because it always seeks for itself to get the best, right?
Mhm.
People that are aligned to love and love for others, we call this the path, right? The path of light and love. And everybody is somewhere on one of those spectrums. And in general, we can look at it as like 49%, 51%, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And we're finding the same is true in the galaxy and in the universe and stuff. So yeah, we're kind of positively weighted towards love. So cool.
Mhm. Good. Awesome. Thank you. I was gonna ask a question, but it's totally left my mind. So it's okay. It's gone. All right. So let's take a few minutes and just talk quickly about the packages that you have for us. I'm going to share my screen. So give me 1 sec.
Can I mention my website? Somebody was asking for my website.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll put my website in the chat. The package today is not available on the website. And you'll notice this is what we're doing. The package is very special, very specially priced. My website though is Crystal Array, CRYSTA. Where am I at? Crystal, CRYSTALARRAYS.com. And I will type that in the text a little bit later.
All right. So the packages that Angie has for us today, there's 3, package A, B, and C. And package A, and all of the packages include a self-love array crystal array transmission.
It's amazing.
Go ahead.
It's amazing. This is my favorite of all the crystal transmissions, is the self-love one.
Beautiful. I love it. And that it's something that we all really need. So in the first package is the Remembering the Love You Are, and includes a 1 heart mudra plus information about it, how to use it, and then these codem transmissions. So these codem, there's like, I don't know how many there are, 12, 15. I'm not sure how many there are, but all of these codem transmissions, as well as the self-love crystal array transmission. And the codem transmissions you will receive in a Zoom call.
There's 3 different options, 3 different times you can come in to join the Zoom call, because I know there's people all over the world. So I tried to pick 3 different times. You can come in on any one of them. And if you got package A, you'll get those codems. And then you'll leave, and the package B people stay on, and you'll get the codems for package B. And there's 3 different times you can choose.
Yes, so I will share that as well. The 3 different Zoom links, all that wonderful stuff. So package B is Being the Love You Came From. It includes everything in package A, plus another heart mudra, more codem transmissions, plus the self-love crystal array transmission. And then package C is slightly different. It includes package A and B. So the 2 heart mudras, the codem transmissions, the self-love crystal array, plus a 55-minute personal session with Angie, and another new heart mudra, and more codems. So, Angie, you want to talk a little bit about what the personal session looks like?
Absolutely. Let me grab. All right, so package C, you're going to receive these codems in your one-on-one session, okay? And you're going to get a codem for moving effortlessly into the new time. So this is really focused on the new energies now at this point. You're going to get one for maintaining positive internal congruency. You're going to get one for being coherent with yourself on whatever is in your mind, your field, your information field. No matter what's going on around you, you're going to be able to stay coherent with yourself. There's one that cleanses you, brings you up to, brings in your new belief systems, your conscious awareness, that heightens your awareness. and it helps with advanced communication and CI communication. So CI communication is like the central intelligence of God. So there's like the creative aspect of God, the loving aspect of God, and the central intelligence, almost like the mind of God. Okay. There's one that helps you align to and receive energy from the original photon center point. This is amazing. I love this codem. There's one that helps you to harness and transmute the energy of the current solar flares to assist you to create or solve or cure, however you want to use that energy. It's free fuel in your gas tank. Where do you want to drive to? Okay. There's one that helps your DNA open to the new photonic energies, the new solar energies coming in. You can activate more DNA, bring them online. And there's a codem that helps, which is actually something I'll be doing. I help build it on a multi-dimensional layer and twirl it up into the DNA. And there's one for aligning to light, love, and creativity. It's called the Tools of Creation. And there's a photonic amplifier, which can be also connected with the tools of creation. So, you know, if you're writing a book or a new piece of music or, you know, any kind of creative process, there's two codems that I can pair together. I can join them to power one another. And there'll be a little bit of time left in your 55-minute session. And if there's some specific codem or specific mudra for you as a unique being, I can give you that if I have it, which I may.
Beautiful. And so the personal session with Angie, again, is really potent, really powerful. And you're going to receive, you know, the codems personally one-on-one, plus anything else that you may need, as well as the heart mudra that is specific to you, tailor-made to you. So it's going to be quite the powerful session, life-changing and transformative. Just going back up here really quickly. So all of these packages are available with 2- and 3-part payment plans, and you can use the 24-hour special 10% gift code, TACS10. Please do take advantage of that as well as a gift from me. And of course, these packages are available at alara.at/show/Angie5. I'm going to put the link in the chat as well. 1 second. But why am I doing it that way? Because, yeah, 1 sec. So if anybody has any questions about the packages or any questions about the heart mudras or the codems, just raise your hand or, you know, type it in the chat. What was I going to ask? Oh, what was I going to say? So yes, so how far in advance are you booked with your personal sessions, Angie?
I can start taking as soon as we finish the last Zoom. I may be able to take a few people before that. So really, starting next week, I should be able to start booking people.
Good.
And
Awesome.
I've opened my schedule up for this. So
good.
should be able to get you a time. I do also work into the evenings. So Friday evening, if there's some of you that are like in Singapore, Malaysia, that area of the world, it would be your morning the next day. I can stay Friday night, and which would allow you to get your private session with me.
There was something else I was going to ask you. Oh, my mind is like blank. Go ahead.
I put it in the chat. I have a free gift on my website, and I put my website in the chat.
And there's also the free gift on our gifts page from Angie as well. So please do download that as well and use it. Oh gosh, what else was there? There was something else I was going to ask you. My mind is blank.
I'm psychic. I should be able to get it, right? Let's see.
Yeah, it was just about with all the people that you've worked with the codems and the mudras, what have you seen as in like benefits or like who are these packages for
Oh, I had an exciting one. One of the people in the Tuesday night meditation told me about. She had a very, very dear friend pass away. And historically, when a friend or a family member died, she went into very, very deep mourning. And it was very destructive for, for months and months and months. And since she's been coming in, this lady has been joined me every Tuesday night since October or November. Okay. And we do the Codeums and we do the Mudras each Tuesday. When this friend, who was a very close friend, died, she had a lot of spaciousness around it, had the realization that her friend's energy was still around her and near her, and there wasn't the mourning. She was in a much more neutral place than she'd ever been. And normally that would have just kind of ended everything that she was doing for a very long time. And so that's a huge evolution. Mourning is something where it usually takes us out pretty strong, and she was able to still maintain, and she did not experience it as a personal wounding at all. I thought that was remarkable.
Yeah, for sure. Because I know a lot of people who, have suffered loss in that way. It takes them quite to a low place, like not able to function, etc.
You bet. It's very
for sure.
Come out of deep mourning.
Yeah. So my other question was, who is this package for? Like, is it for those of us who are new on the path, who are, more advanced on the path? Anything like that?
I deliberately
share with us?
designed the package to suit everyone wherever you're at. So it's going to move you forward, whether it's energetically working with the chakras, clearing your field out, whether it's getting your mind in line. That's kind of the next step after we get cleaned up, is realizing that the thoughts that we think in here are determining our reality, and then beginning to learn how to control the thoughts that we think. Notice we're thinking them and change them to the result that we actually want, not the uncontrolled chaos that, maybe we're creating out of our reaction. And then for people that are much further along the path, that are moving as the new thought leaders and the energy anchors, like maybe we won't be running out and changing the world, but we're holding an anchor for, a neighborhood teenager or a grandchild or something who will become the next thought leader, right? And so especially that package C is really around those of us who are the wisdom holders, the energy poles, that power, this new iteration of the evolution of consciousness. And that's something that we can do even without interacting. We're a pole. Our very presence here pulls the field, right?
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Good. So again, those packages are available at alara.at/show/Angie5. So please do take a look at them, see which one resonates with you the most. And any other last words of wisdom for us, Angie?
Let me tap in with my guides and the collective field for just a second. So the first thing I hear is that you are all doing so well. It's being acknowledged that you are here, your hearts are willing, and that you are willing to do whatever you need to be, to do, to be. I'm seeing a flame, like the flame of love, I guess. So, yeah, I guess I'll just double down with what these benevolent beings are saying, and that is, thank you for all that you do, and the work of the heart, and the love light. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. And thank you everybody for all your questions. Thank you for being here, co-creating the space with us, the energies today with us as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I would go back and watch or listen to this again so you can receive more from the Codeums. I mean, I definitely received. I know some of you have received as well, but they were just like, yes, receive that love, receive that light, receive those Codeums, those energies, to allow your heart to expand and open up even more so that you can be more of that light, the heart light that Andrew was just saying, in the world, so you can shine your light, blaze that fire within your heart for the world to see and to anchor in the space where you are. Wherever we are is perfect for us, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, but just be there, accept it, be an allowance of what is, accept where you are, and radiate that love, that light from your heart out to all. We are all making a huge difference just by doing that, just shining our light, just being present, just being us with total acceptance and allowance. When we are doing that, we are doing, more than enough. So just remember that, okay? So thank you, everyone. Again, please do take this opportunity to work with Rev.Angie. Like she said, these packages are not available on her website. They're only available here. So please do take this opportunity to work with her. All right, so thank you so much, everyone. Thank you again, Angie. This was wonderful. Thank you, thank you. Until next time, may you all continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all much love and blessings always. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.